What up? I hadn't made a video in a little while. Well, it's technically not true because I just posted a Bible reading just a few moments ago. But I decided to walk out in the yard and hit on some topics I was wanting to discuss today, which would be kind of learning to homestead. So it seems to be all the rage lately. Homesteading, going off grid, or at least everything that I watch, kind of, maybe it just seems like it's all the rage because it's what I watch. But I've always been pretty interested. I've always lived out in the country, and it's just kind of what you do when you live in the country. You're fairly self-sufficient, so you can't rely on tons of people everywhere because, well, there's a house out there. I technically have a neighbor over there, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, you learn to be kind of self-sufficient. We're 20 minutes from town approximately, and town being a town of about 3,000, so not that big of a town. And yeah, it's just good practice to learn to be self-sufficient. So I planted a garden this year. It's actually like my third or fourth year we've lived at this location, and third or fourth year I've had a garden. So far this is the best garden that I've had. The soil was terrible the first like 2 or 3 years, and I did a soil sample and learned it was missing a bunch of good stuff. Like, I was surprised how terrible the dirt was. It needed like potash and nitrogen, basically needed everything. So I did use fertilizer, and then we go fishing a lot, so I've been filling the garden with fish guts for the last couple of years. I think that helped a lot because our tomatoes are absolutely giant. Our corn's doing pretty good. Our cucumbers are looking pretty good. Tons of cucumbers on them, but the only issue is they're bitter. And I don't know why they're bitter. Kind of a bummer because I put a ton of work into them. The peppers are doing awful. The red hot chili peppers, we're doing great. And I got a ton of those, but I don't use them anyways. I got those on accident when I bought them. I bought the little pre-starter plants. It said that they were bell peppers. Well, when they grew up, it didn't take me very long to figure out they're red hot chili peppers. The other ones are bell peppers. And then I have 2 jalapeno plants. Jalapenos did great last year. This year, they haven't done squat. Like, they look terrible. They're brown and wilty. So you know what the issue is with these guys. The jalapeno and the peppers. And even my red hot chili peppers that were doing great are now starting to wilt. Let me see if I can show you. I think I just showed you. My phone doesn't let me flip the screen, which is weird. But yeah, so cucumbers are good if you eat really small ones. If you wait till they get big, they're super bitter. Tomatoes are awesome, almost too big. My stakes and poles I've stuck in the ground are barely holding them up. Green beans are doing pretty good. Snap peas, we've eaten a couple rounds of snap peas, and basically I think we picked through them, and there may be some more growing, but it doesn't appear like there's a ton. Zucchini are doing awesome. All these are zucchini with marigolds planted between them. We've picked all the big zucchini as of now. I made 1 batch of zucchini bread. I think I have 3 zucchini sitting on the counter in there, so. Middle of the garden is pretty disappointing. Ow. Planted a couple of marigolds, a row of radishes, and a bunch of carrots. Carrots like haven't popped up at all. The radishes are there, and then it's rained non-stop, like ever since I did it. And so I can't get in there to like work up the weeds and hoe it up and get them out. So the weeds are beginning to take over. So I need to dry up just a little bit so I can get in there and get that taken care of. I planted snap peas right there all along this fence. I was hoping they'd grow up here. I planted those at the same time I planted the radishes. It's weird because I planted them all the way across this whole area, and they literally grew to this fence post right here. It didn't grow on this side. I don't know what's different over there, but they didn't like it. So I'll have half the snap peas. Was I calling them snap peas? They're snap peas. So hopefully those work. So corn's looking good. We had a little bit of issue with some earworm caterpillar things, but I think I got them under control. I didn't want to, but I had to use some 7 on there to help combat those. I've really struggled with squash bugs on all the squash plants. That has been a hassle, but they seem to be doing good now. They did take out a couple of my squash plants. Some of them have bounced back, so hopefully they continue to grow. So this video turned into a garden update. Hopefully you like the garden update and the garden videos, because that's a lot of them. But yeah, I was supposed to talk more about homesteading, but maybe I'll hit on that next time. Hopefully the garden will keep turning up and doing good, and we can continue to make these videos and show kind of what we do out here in the country. Thanks for tuning in.